Hi travelers, Tara here, and we're going to do an open reading for this August 23rd. We do have a full moon in Pisces coming up on the 26th. Mercury has gone direct, but it won't be back up to full speed until I want to say between September 2nd and the 6th. I'm not exactly sure of the date. Not Mercury, Uranus is headed backward into Aries. He is stationed, I think, he's still at 2 Taurus, but he will be moving back to 1 Taurus and then back into 29 Aries. So for those of you website members who look at the transits, you know that this is going to be a repeat. That's what you can look at a retrograde, like a repeat. And it's going to be a repeat of those issues that you had before. So this is issues of height, weight, face, shape, hair, makeup, wardrobe, social media, your face, name, and brand across all mediums. So this could be LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. It's going to be an opportunity to relaunch yourself as you are seen, or how you choose to present yourself. This could also bring, of course, those oppositions from other people, because the first house is always opposite the seventh house. I have written a series on the Mercury retrograde. It's a 7-part series. If you haven't had a chance to log in and read it, please do. I'm working on Mars, because Mars is also retrograde. He is retrograded back into Capricorn. So this could be the idea of really trying to drive forward those things related to your career, your position, and your standing. But as we know, Mars can also bring aggression, war, anger, speed, heat, fights, things of that nature. Volcano has moved into Gemini. Apollo has moved into Cancer. Let me see what else is. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on astrologically. It may not have that direct effect upon you, but through 6 degrees of separation, you may know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody, right? Okay. And so there's a lot happening. Now, this full moon is going to be cutting across the Pisces Virgo axis, or the Virgo Pisces axis, however you want to look at that. And so this is going to be, it's going to cover the full moon in Pisces. Pisces deals with issues of unseen things. So this could be spiritual events. It could be astrology. It could be tarot. It could deal with prisons and hospitals, health issues, unseen health issues coming back around. It could be dealing with drugs and alcohol, things that are very, very unclear, sometimes past life issues. The opposition across from Virgo, and the sun has moved into Virgo today. So happy birthday, Virgo sons. That includes me too. Hey, 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 hey. And so this is the idea of mind, body, and spirit. Your health is your wealth. Are you taking care of yourself? Do you need to start exercising? Do you need to cut back on exercising? Are you eating properly? Are you putting in the right kinds of things into your body that are providing you the fuel and the energy that you need to get things done? And if you are out of balance mentally, physically, and spiritually, that means you can't work to the best of your ability. Work, service, and duty to others, but also yourself. So there's an opposition here. So for some of you, this could be the idea that maybe you're trying to work and get some things done and do the best that you can, and you may have to deal with somebody who may be ill or sick, or something may pop up. This could also, be about you yourself, not taking care of yourself the way that you should, and something coming up out of the blue. Full moons are always D-Day. They're typically something, you may have a decision to make. My suggestion is to wait. Don't try to make a decision 3 days before or 3 days after the full moon, because there's going to be a lot of emotion behind it. It could be highly emotional, but also things that you don't see. right? So for some of you, this is going to be about children, because we have these Leo transits going on as well, or children's groups, lovers, things of that nature. So I wanted to announce that I finally have figured out a way to do gift certificates. So if you know somebody who needs a reading, you can purchase them a gift certificate, and they can get their reading. I have created a form for them to fill out so that I can get their information. Website members, you lucky dogs, are able to purchase readings for your friends and family at member prices. So I've got a few other things coming up. For those of you, the September readings are already posted. I only did one reading this month because I myself have a lot going on. For those of you who might be interested in wanting to come over, you can get a one-day pass, one-day access. It gives you 24-hour access to the videos and articles, a few articles that I've selected for you, and a couple of bonus gallery videos. So I've got some specials that will be coming up. I don't know when, so don't, you know, and don't forget to sign up. For those of you, sign up to the newsletter, because the newsletter has a lot more information in the background than what I present here. So we're going to do a 9-card spread today, just to open the cards and see what they have to say. Depending on what that is, more than likely I will probably pull both a angel answer and a romance angel card, and I will be clarifying with La Vida Sabilas. I'm going to be adding a couple of more videos to the metaphysical gallery. I promised that I would show you how to set up your ancestor altar. And there was something else I had promised you guys, and I'll probably throw in another reading in the wild card gallery. Okay, so 9 cards down, here we go. King of Swords, 8 of Wands, 2 of Swords, well, isn't that funny, 10 of Pentacles, the Magician card, and then there's the Devil. Wow. Now, that could go both ways, the Magician and the Devil. Okay, I'll explain that in a minute. 4 of Cups. There's our Tower card. I tell you what, this Uranus, I don't even know what to say about all of that. And there's the Star card. Well, changing nodes, that's 1. The Empress. 4 major arcana out of 9 cards. So you have a bit more choice or sway over this than what you may think. And some of you honestly don't know what to think. It's funny. Definitely for some of you, there's going to be either a home change environment or a standing change. And what I mean by that is a position or an status change. Okay, this 10 of Pentacles is normally represents the family card. It is about having enough to go around to share, that everybody knows their place and everybody does their part. This gets the card sometimes of inheritances. I've even seen it show up like sometimes like lottery payouts or winnings, some kind of windfall coming in where the family is going to be well taken care of. But this could also be the idea of some kind of group or association. Maybe like, you know, you've been working in the same job for the past 20 years, right? There's definitely a change coming from that. Now, I feel that for some of you, this is, you are dealing with the King of Swords, Libra, Aquarian, and or Gemini male. he's here at the top. If that is not his, sun sign or his moon sign and or his rising sign, then it's going to speak to what he does. Perhaps he is a very strategic thinker, so he could be a scientist, he could be a doctor, a lawyer, a surgeon, a police officer, a soldier. But aside even from that, what you're dealing with is someone who is extremely logical and very rational. And I feel that this is the individual who's going through some kind of changes, okay? Remember I said to you at the beginning, if it's not you, then it could be somebody that you're dealing with or somebody that is, 6 degrees of separation. I feel that this person is dealing with some kind of limitation and or constraint issue. The devil is rules the sign of Capricorn. Capricorn is a builder sign, okay? It represents the 10th house. So this is your social standing in the world. This is your position at work. This is how you are seen within the community. How do you want to be seen? It speaks about elevating yourself. It's the highest point of the chart that can be seen. What legacies do you want to leave behind for yourself? What is it that you really want to do? Do you want to quit your job that you've been working at for 20 years and then go do missionary work in Africa? Okay, that's what the 10th house represents. The devil can be that idea of actually being bonded and committed to something, okay? And that you are slowly but surely building it up one by one, brick by brick, step by step, okay? Why? Because it feels good for you to accomplish these things. The things that you are doing, the things that you are building, the climb that you are trying to make is going to afford you all of those good things on the earthly plane. The devil. The devil represents food, sex, drink, having a good time. Those things that we need in order to replenish ourselves. You know that old saying, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So it's kind of one of those things. But it is also the flip side, or the negative side can be the idea of being controlled by something, being controlled by someone. This could be the idea of being, you've signed a work contract and you can't get out of that. Now you're chained to that, and it is causing you a whole bunch of problems, like you're never going to get out of it. Just know that the devil and Saturn can represent that energy of it's never a no, it is a not yet. Okay, but it definitely asks you to take a look at what you are chaining yourself to or bonding yourself to. So if this person feels that they're in a situation that they can't get out of, that's just the way they feel or what they think. It's not based on reality. We all have choice. Okay, now what I was saying to you when I first saw these two cards together, the Magician and the Devil, sometimes this could speak to somebody who dabbles in black magic or somebody who dabbles in magic, right? But this could also be the idea that it's somebody who has that touch, kind of like that Midas touch sort of a thing, okay? As if by magic they're able to build and accrue and gain things, right? So these two cards are kind of funny together. What I do feel about this particular reading is that there's something, definitely something changing. Yes, the person is working on it. They're trying very hard to get out from perhaps whatever obligations that they have, but they're also committed to doing that and changing this particular situation, hell or high water kind of a thing, okay? But something comes in that's been offered, or there's something that's been presented, and the person either not ready to move, because these two are cards of limitation, right? The reason why the person is limited in this is because they either aren't pleased with what the offer is, they may not see how it's going to fit into what they already have, or maybe the terms and conditions are not right. They ain't feeling it, pretty much. Okay, those are cups. So let's just say the person ain't quite feeling it yet. But then the Tower comes and tears down whatever this person has built up. This is the only man-made structure in the card. And this talks about sometimes, depending upon our circumstances and our past, we will build up walls. We will build up our own castles. Okay? And then suddenly that castle comes crumbling down, because whatever it was that we built up, whatever walls, whatever edifices that we built up, can no longer stand. So this can come through either the true collapse of something, losing your job. Maybe your car, stops working. Maybe you get fired from your job. Maybe you lose a whole bunch of money in the stock market. Okay, but what this does is says that those things could not stand any longer, and so now it's time for you to clear that ground and do something else. What I always like to see whenever this card shows up is the Star card come after it, because in the tarot, naturally, after this card comes this card. So this tells me that whatever this is about, the healing is going to come in right away. Okay? Right away it's going to come in. You're going to be able to regain your equilibrium and your balance. You're going to gain clarity on it. It's a timing thing. And I honestly feel that this is this Uranus in Taurus energy. It is crossing, it is opposite the sign of Scorpio, Taurus is. My monies versus monies that I get from other people. Okay? I think that the person is unclear about whether they should stay or whether they should go, but eventually that clarity is going to come. Now here is the Empress, and the Empress represents Venus. There she is again. The star represents Venus. So she speaks to growth, abundance, planting seeds, fertility, prosperity. She speaks to balance and beauty, the finer things in life. A strong feminine presence. She has the 12 stars of the constellation in her crown. This is overhanging everything. I don't feel that, I think for some, this Empress represents a female figure. I think for others, it represents the idea of growing something, of building something, of expanding on something. And maybe this might come through the help of a female. Okay? Down the center, we see someone is either traveling or moving. They're doing something. Typically, this is travel by air. We see that the Magician, it is the Magician card that kind of stands out to me, not simply because he's in the center. It's just kind of, he stands out for me. The Magician can be that idea of focusing your will and your intention, right? What I think I can create. How do magicians get good? They practice. They practice, they practice. But this could also be the idea that there's some kind of sleight of hand, somebody pretending to be something that they're not, or pretending to have skills that they don't. This could be putting on a show for somebody, right? I also feel that whatever this event is going to be something that occurs surrounding a trip. Now, God forbid, this is telling me that there might be an accident of some kind. A plane crashing, a car crash, or an accident. Why? Because maybe somebody's not focused on what it is that they're doing. Maybe somebody does something on purpose. There's a choice. Excuse me. There's a choice that needs to be made. And there's no clarity on it at the moment concerning this Ten of Pentacles. So maybe this is somebody wanting to sell their home, or maybe they want to change jobs, or maybe they something to do with the family, perhaps, or this particular group of people. But there's this beautiful star card at the very end. And I honestly feel that this last row is saying that the person is unsure about whether they should stay or whether they should go. And whatever this non-clarity is, it will eventually become clear to them. They're going to figure it out. Let me, the only cards that I can look at as they relate to these are the Eight of Wands, the Two of Swords, the 10, and the 4. Now, you could be a female. Oh my God, where's my... And this King of Swords could be you, but it could also be a boss or somebody that you're dealing with. Or this influence of this particular male in your life, right? So let's see what the Eight of Wands, I'm sorry. Definitely there's some news or message. Now this could be because Mercury has gone retrograde, suddenly something coming in and we have a choice, but there's something about it that I honestly feel this person doesn't know yet what to do. So if you've been waiting on news or message, it's some kind of partnership offer. And when one partnership ends, another one has to. When one begins, another one has to end. So this could be the idea of that sudden insight on what it is this person should be doing. Eights are very positive. Now, Eight of Wands with the Devil. Let me slide these cards up so you can see this a bit more here, I hope. Oh my goodness. Let me slide them up a little more. Now, is that better? I'm so sorry about that. I didn't think to do that at the beginning. Okay. Eight of Wands with the Devil is telling you to ignore all temptations and remain focused on your goal regardless of outside manipulations and influences. Ignore all else and forge ahead in your intended direction. That's what that is. It's some kind of temptation. It tells of an acceleration with the Devil. It tells of an acceleration of your affairs and brings beneficial qualities and positive changes into your life. But in order to get that, something else is going to have to go. That's automatic. You can't have it all. You know, we can try, but typically, eventually, we have to give up something or another in order to gain what it is that we really want. Okay, let's look at this Two of Swords here. Nothing. I just think this reads like multiple choices. See, there's two here, there's two there, there's two there. So it's some kind of choice or decision that needs to be made, and there's no clarity on it. I think the person knows that they need to do something. They just maybe haven't quite figured out in terms of planning on how to do it, how to make this possible. But I do feel that they're dedicated to it. Okay. The 10 of Pentacles. Sometimes I've seen these cards show up together when it's talking about something happening or somebody doing something, somebody, you know, coming up with some kind of plan or business idea that is straight, solid, okay? That's going to be in place for a long, long time. Now, interesting, because the 10 of Pentacles next to the Devil and the Tower card indicate that there could be upsets, disappointments, and problems, and there may be a need to make new plans and start afresh. There it is. Okay? The possibilities are there. Wow, isn't that interesting? Let me read that again. With the devil and the tower. Upsets, disappointments, and problems. And there may be a need to make new plans and start afresh. So this tells me that this may be some kind of idea that maybe the person is really focused on, but it's not going to be as easy as they think. And I think it's going to require them either accepting something that they're not comfortable accepting, okay? And that's going to cause them to, that thing to collapse. But in the end, they will see why it was better for them. Four of Pentacles, Four of Cups, I mean. You know how I always talk to you about how sometimes your people are about to make decisions and then it just falls through, everything's into, and they can't understand why it fell through. Well, it's because you're about to make a mistake and you can't see that. You're trying to forge ahead. You're committed to that particular path, and the devil and the universe is like, okay, well, look, since you don't get it, you're not paying attention to all of the signs and information I'm trying to give you here. Let me course correct you. Okay? I kind of feel like the person is doing it out of some kind of need where they're not satisfied with what they have already. Values and value systems. Okay? There's nothing about the Four of Cups here. Okay? So let's pull cards on this. We're going to look at this Two of Cups. I'm sorry. Two of Swords. We're going to look at the Four of Cups. I want to look at this Devil, not the Tower card. And before I close this, matter of fact, before I even lay these cards, let me read to you the meaning of the Tower. Because a lot of people get, these two cards with the Death are the most dreaded cards in the tarot of the major arcana. And they're not to be feared. It's simply a moment in time. Okay? So let me read to you the meaning of the Tower card, so that some of you don't get so freaked out. Oh my God, what happened? It's a Mars card. The meaning. It tells you to be prepared for rapid changes. As situations in your life are moving fast, change is inevitable as karmic forces will cause breakdowns in relationships of all kinds, including business and financial situations, particularly those you consider to be of a permanent nature. Accept the changes and plan for the future, as clinging to the past will hinder your progress. It may be indicating sudden, unexpected changes or changes in one's behavior, or misguided beliefs is needed. This is why I say sometimes the universe will come in and course correct for you. It informs you of unexpected positive changes. It brings flashes of intuition and breaking free of restrictions, and tells of sudden events occurring that will bring a new direction. It tells of taking a need to, of having the need to take a long look at your life and accept that sweeping changes may need to be made. It asks that you be willing to make the effort to break through pretense. Remember? Trying to pretend to be somebody that you're not, or doing stuff that you know you can't damn well do. Sparing yourself a great deal of anguish. It can indicate the need to break down unhealthy structures within yourself. It can be seen as an indication that the time has come to make a new start. You should have inner peace and be aware of the whole picture rather than be held back by dwelling on the negative changes. And maybe that's what this is. The Tower represents an unexpected blow to the ego or pride, which at first can seem humiliating and damaging. But with hindsight, it proves to be useful experience from which lessons will have been learned. It may indicate a physical injury which is not as severe or damaging as it may have first appeared. So the Tower card is not always bad. Like I say, people like, they get readings and, you know, I say, well, it's going to be, you know, a career change for the better. And then they get fired. They lose their job. And then they email me back, I thought you said it was going to be for the better. Well, but during the reading, you was telling me how much you hated that job, how much you hated those people. They weren't paying you what you were worth. You didn't have any creative freedom. Your boss was an asshole. So if you got fired, that's a change for the better, because now you can go out and look for a job that fits your needs, right? Depends on how you look at it. So, people are funny sometimes. Now, let's look at this Two of Swords. Theft of goods and services. Gran consolazione. So somebody is either taking a trip, and I'm going to say, if that's the case, if this is a business deal, I want you to be cautious, because there could be somebody who might be trying to take your ideas and utilize them as their own. Not like plagiarism, but maybe they're trying to steal something from you. This could also be the idea of things moving so fast, you've got to figure out what maybe you need to leave behind in order to gain this. There's a decision here. Maybe this is related to, maybe you have to take a trip. Somebody got sick quite suddenly, and that trip was taken from you. This opportunity or this message or this news was not very good. It's something, it implies that there's something negative here that comes in. Maybe this whole situation is predicated on what has come before. I want to look at this Four of Cups. That doctore could be a lawyer, a doctor, somebody who is a professional, an accountant even. Huh? Somebody who has the skills and knowledge to help you solve a problem. And we see that there's some kind of problem here. Okay? Maybe this is about leaving and taking your work with you. Huh? Fortuna. The Wheel of Fortune has come in. Now, Fortuna is fickle. Fortune is fickle. And she doesn't come around very often. So, just like she can give, she can take away. So, this is a moment. Pleasant conversation. So, I think there's some kind of negotiations trying to happen here. Ah. But remember, I said there's something about it that we just don't, doesn't feel right. If that's the case, trust what your instincts are telling you. Maybe this is one of those situations where maybe it would be best that you go alone and keep your ideas to yourself, right? Let's look at this Tower card. Maybe you find out through having this conversation with this person that really what you're trying to do together, all of a sudden you recognize this really ain't what I want to be doing. I don't want to be investing my money and my time in this. Maybe you find, you know, it could be that epiphany kind of a thing. And then all of a sudden you're like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. It's not always bad. The meeting, also the business, the job interview. The Viaggio, here's a trip. Remember I said that. And there's the woman with children. Now look, I don't know if this is telling me that there's a planned visit that doesn't come through, or if this is telling me that there's going to be a visit that's going to knock your socks off. And suddenly things are clear for you all of a sudden. And sometimes that happens. You can meet somebody and suddenly that person just the idea of meeting them, suddenly everything clicks for you. Let's look at this Devil card. Remember I said I think there's a female involved in this in some way. Lamika. This is a long-standing friendship. One that, despite the fact that the devil is here, is very, very positive nature. Now remember, the devil is not always negative. Okay, this could be the kind of relationship that could end up turning into some kind of committed relationship. Sex is going to be good. You're going to have a nice home. You're going to have money in the bank account. That kind of thing. Take vacations. Indeed. There is the Mercante, negotiations, and that falls right before these conversations here. So the question would be, what is the Amalato? I don't know. Whatever it is, this tower will change it. Whatever it is, however it goes, the tower is going to change the whole situation, I think, unexpectedly and out of the blue. And it's not always a negative card. Formulate your answer for a question for the Romance Angels. Oh. And then formulate a question for the Angel Answer cards. Romance Angels. It says flirt. Extend your lighthearted energy to others. That's always a weird card to me. But maybe that's saying that this opportunity is going to come up, that you'll get an opportunity to do this. Okay? And if it's not necessarily flirting, then this is about being lifted up. Yeah? This card wanted to present itself. The Romance Angels guide you to initiate romance with flirtatiousness, which entails smiling with your eyes as you connect with others. It doesn't necessarily involve sexuality, although it can. Flirting is playful in nature, and playfulness is the heart of romance. If you're in a relationship, flirting with your partner can revive passion. If you are single, this activity can attract new friendships as well as a love relationship. Drawing this card can simply mean that making more eye contact with others will help you connect with people. This is especially true if you smile and say hello more often. Everyone you meet is a potential friend, and studies show that most people are introduced to their mates through mutual acquaintances. Therefore, form new friendships both as a way of meeting a new partner and to increase your enjoyment in life. Reconsider. There is an element of your plan that should be reevaluated. Take some time to really go through your project or proposal thoroughly. Share your intentions with a trusted friend or advisor who can give you objective feedback, and ask your angels for guidance. This is not the moment to make the change in your life that you are considering. A better time will come, and you will realize that you wish to choose a different kind of transformation for yourself. There's that course correction I'm talking about. So that's what I have for you. I do hope you'll come over and join me on the website. And until next time, thank you for allowing me to read for you. Namaste.